Welcome to another episode of the Fit for Fortune podcast, where we are not consistent with releasing episodes, but it also means that when there is a new one, it's going to be a good one. So today I have Thom Sykes with me here again for the second round. Previous round, we talked about everything fat loss, and it was amazing. If you haven't listened to it yet, please do now. And today I would like to talk about his bodybuilding journey and the most recent show that he did and all the feelings that came with it. So, when was this show, this most recent one?
It was on Sunday.
On Sunday, today is Thursday, so just 4 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what made you decide to compete again? Because you've done a few before, right? And then you had a long sort of improvement season.
Okay, well, firstly, thank you again, David, for having me on. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and we seem to have crossed paths and missed one another a couple times since I've managed to get down there, and just stuff's happened. So it's great to just get to chat, and I'm really looking forward to just diving into a few things and hopefully getting you to speak a little bit as well. I know you probably won't want to, but we'll hopefully get you to chat a bit too. Okay, so physique development and... Oh, shit, 1 second. Someone's just at my door. Do you mind if we pause this for a second?
Yeah, let's go.
One second. I needed to get these because I've been waiting. I ordered this pair of shoes, months ago, and they weren't going to release them. Then they decided they were going to release them, and then they got an email saying, they're going to come in September. I fucking got them.
Okay, so this is now... We're turning this into an unboxing product review podcast.
Do you want to see them?
Yeah, sure.
Have you heard of Matt Fraser?
Yeah, but I don't know who it is.
He's the CrossFitter, right? And he was 5-time
Right.
fittest man in the world. He was sponsored by Nike. I always really liked him because he was very like my host brother when I lived in America. The family that I stayed with, he was very like him. So he split away from Nike and then released his own shoe company. So there's 5 stars there for when he done CrossFit. There'll be something on here somewhere saying hard work pays off. Hard work pays off.
Okay.
And they're my work shoes. I actually really...
Are you secretly going into CrossFit now?
Nah, I'll just be using them to work in.
Cool.
You know what it's like when you're PT in person, you're on your feet all day, you need something really comfy.
You need to put something on that makes you want to go to the gym.
And you want to have something that you can demonstrate in as well, so...
Yeah, just demonstrating the shoes instead of the exercise.
Yeah. Okay, right. Back to it. So, why and how did I get into this? So, physique development and physiques. I've always been drawn to, and I just done a post not long ago about this, six-packs, nice physiques. For some reason, if a basketball player had, bigger delts or bigger arms, I was always fuck, I want that. That's what I want. My dad was always quite a big guy. My dad's got he doesn't so much now, but he used to have really broad shoulders and I'm talking really big arms. I played basketball. I then went into Olympic weightlifting. I always wanted, my whole journey was how to get a six-pack. I became a PT trying to find out how to get a six-pack. I then went to college trying to figure out how to get a six-pack. Then I went to uni trying to figure out how to get a six-pack. I done internships thinking that there would be some sort of secret that someone would know. And then
so does this mean that all this time you didn't have the six-pack?
I had abs, but I never felt ripped. Well, I don't know if you can pop something up on the screen. I've got quite big, blocky abs, and I've always had that. So I don't have to get mega lean to be able to see them, but I knew I wasn't that lean. And then I was always
what do you mean about the six-pack then?
So I always had a 2 or a 4-pack. And I knew the bottom 2 were there, but I just never knew how to lose that last bit of fat. And I was what the... surely there's a way. And I was just constantly trying to learn, trying to find out the best exercises. You know what it's like? What's the quickest diet? What's the fastest way? I was always fat burners. I tried it all. All natural, though. All natural.
What's that? That's a certification that you're natural?
Yeah, I got a polygraph at the weekend.
Oh.
So there was always this everything in sport and exercise was always kind of there was a physique side to it. I wanted to look good. I don't know if it felt like I was just growing up or I tried to distract myself, but I then slowly kind of went towards performance. I was right, I want to be able to jump high, run fast, lift heavy weights, be strong. I like the term like just fit. I wanted to be able to run, jump, lift, just do everything. People would now call it like a hybrid athlete or like a CrossFit athlete or a Hyrox or something. I just wanted to be a fitness guy, right? But there was always like this underlying, like, I want to look good when I'm doing it. Always. So then I was like, right, who are the leanest athletes in the world? And I was like, bodybuilders. So let's get a bodybuilding coach and let's find out what that feels like. And then I met my current coach, Vaughn, and he was like, I think he was like 6 days out from a photo shoot and he could barely hold his head up. And he was like, you know what it's like? He was just fucked. And I was like, I want to know what that feels like once. And I was like, are you shredded? And he was like, yeah. And he lifted his top up and all his serratus anterior, all his obliques were coming through. There was veins all over his abs. And I was like, yeah, I want to know what that's like. So this was back in 2019. I done a photo shoot. I got like I got the leanest I'd ever got then. I think it's because I went a little bit reckless. I went a little bit wild. I done a little bit more than I needed to. I pushed myself a little bit harder. But my coach said to me that I was like 2 or 3 pounds off being stage lean. So that was like planted in my head. And I was like, right, well, I want to know what stage lean feels like. So in 2021, I decided to diet down for some bodybuilding shows. I didn't get as lean as I did in 2019. Fortunately, the judges liked the way that my physique and my proportions were put together for men's physique. And that kind of ties into why I stuck with it. I got a lot of nice feedback, or it felt nice to me. Like, people told me I had potential. Yeah, so I came second in my first show. I came, was it fifth in my second show? Fifth or sixth in my second show, and it was quite a good show, like my first natural show. And then I came fourth in my third show, and then I came third in the WNBF, which was like my biggest show. That was like the show that I just done at the weekend there. Came third in that show. I got told like, oh, you got a lot of potential. I knew I wasn't big enough, but there was a guy, right? And he definitely won't listen to this. His name's Gerard. I'll get this wrong. He's not originally from Scotland, but he's a Scottish athlete. He's a black guy. And honestly, he has the best physique I'd ever seen, right? And he just won a show the weekend before, and he was at one of my shows. And the way he was able to walk about, I was like, he is a bad man. Like, he is, like, you have to be this good. Like, you have to be top boy. Because he just walked so slow, and it just looked cool as fuck. And I was like, right, I want to be good at this. And it's the first thing that I actually felt like maybe I could be good at this. Like, I always wanted to be good at basketball. I was okay, but I wasn't like great. When I used to skateboard when I was young, I always wanted to be like professional at that. I was okay, but I wasn't great. Olympic weightlifting, I was okay, but I wasn't great. Like, and I've always wanted to be like a pro athlete as well. Like, I've always wanted it to be that. It's like my life. And with how like well I done my first season, I was like, right, maybe this is my thing. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is what I'm going to be good at. I don't have to rely on anybody. I don't have teammates. I've just got to do the work, and I've just got to keep doing it. And I don't mind doing it. I quite like it being hard. I quite like struggling. I quite like suffering. I quite like pushing myself. And I was like, right, I'm going to keep going with this. So I went into like, I took a little hiatus from 2021 just after the show. I remember being like, right, let's go. But it just felt like the goal was so far away. And I didn't like the feeling of like yo-yoing, because I pretty much went from like being like lean, but not ripped, to like gaining. And I started to like lose the abs pretty fast. And because I wasn't absolutely shredded, like that everything started to go pretty quick. But I kind of felt not lost, but like there was an ember burning in me still. Like there was still some like unfinished business. And I was like, right. And I messaged my coach and I was like, look, in fact, I think I'd done a podcast with him and I was like, maybe I do still want to do this. Maybe I do still have another, maybe there is a big desire in me still. And then I kind of started to think like, right, I wonder if I could win my pro card. Like, I wonder if I could be a pro. I wonder if I could give enough to be a pro. And then I started to be like, right, I'm going to aim high and I want to be like number one in the world. And I'll openly say this, right? I wanted to beat everybody. I wanted to be number one in the world. And I think a lot of things in life, like we could talk quite a bit about this, but like to answer your question pretty much in like a freaking, how long have I been speaking? 10 minutes. I just felt like I had a bit of unfinished business. So I wanted to compete again this year. And I wanted to just like push to my absolute limit. And I wanted to go all in. So pretty much from like halfway through 2022, I was like pretty much gaining, recomping. You seen how big I pushed up to. Like I was like just going for it. And I was like taking it as serious as I possibly could And I did. I wanted to be number one in the world. I wanted to beat everybody. I wanted to be the best. And like and this is a big thing that I want to talk more about, like either now or today or some point, is like self-belief. Like starting something with self-belief makes things so much easier than if you start it with like an uncertainty, or even like this idea of like, I don't know if I can do that. But like believing, like I wholeheartedly believed I could do it. Like I genuinely did. And the whole time. And then as soon as I started prep, it was bizarre. As soon as I started prep, I was like, as long as I'm better than 2021, I'm going to be happy. But I needed to be better. And I wanted to be as lean as I was in 2019, because I was just shy of being like inside out shredded. As long as I can get that lean, the amount of size that I know I have gained, I'll have made progress, and I'll be like happy. But then what I actually started to find is like, I found a level of happiness before that was just coming from giving 100%. Like the journey to it, and going 100. In fact, I'd say I gave 105. Like there was a lot of times when, and I've got a lot of self-belief, and I swear it's not arrogance. Like I don't think I'm better than anybody. I don't think like that. But like I do believe that if I put in the time, if I'm patient, if I try my hardest, like I can achieve things. And I honestly, but there was times when I was going on the Stairmaster and I was like, I don't know if my legs are going to be able to do this. Like, mate, I'm down to, like, on non-training days, I'm on 1,450 calories.
Oh.
Yeah. Training days, I think.
And what was your body weight?
I'm now down to 76.7.
Oh my God.
8. Yeah, last time I said
I remember when you were
100.
like 12 kilos heavier than I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's, I've lost like 52 pounds and I'm still not lean enough.
When did you start this prep?
I'm sure it was the end of April. I've got on my diary, 17th of April, prep started.
Okay, and I want to skip this entire prep period. We know roughly what you were doing, or just give us a few sentences on it. Obviously, initially easier, and then towards the end, getting a little bit more difficult.
So actually, this prep's been really difficult. Probably one of the hardest I've ever done. I don't know if it's because I had so much stuff going on behind the scenes, like trying to push TS Health and Fitness and my online coaching, developing and growing the gym, taking on a gym manager, bumping through the wall. So we've taken on 3 units now. The gym used to just be 2, but we've taken on a 3rd unit and we've knocked through and we had to get the flooring done. The lighting's changed. A few things cocked up where like I signed paperwork before it had been sorted. So then it was just on my shoulders. I've had to put like absolutely, and I mean, every penny that I have, I've had to put back into it. And I'd only just had like a small pot and I was starting to feel like really confident with myself. Because I've never, not to like go too much into it, I didn't come from very much. I've always been loved and looked after, but like at one point when my mum and dad split up, we had like nothing. So when I had this like little pot of money, it was like a nice little like security blanket almost that like, right, even if I cock up, I've got enough there to like see me through the year. So I'll be all right. I've had to like put all of that back into the gym. We're trying to get some work done on the house. I pretty much work like 16 hours a day, and trying to like fit a prep into that, it's been so difficult, like honestly. And like I was hungry really early on. I felt tired, lethargic. I felt hangry. Like I felt like I was getting grumpy pretty quick. It's been like difficult the whole way through. And about maybe 4 to 6 weeks in, I was like, I need to lose so much more weight than what we think. Like I knew, like you'll know yourself coaching people at photo shoot lean, and like you kind of have like a gauge where like it's paced, but you know where people will be at certain points. And I knew I was like 8 weeks behind where I should have been. Like
you knew that 6 weeks in already?
Yeah, I knew. Like I knew I was fatter than what we thought. I knew that like, because what was happening is I was like dropping weight, but I wasn't getting leaner. And that's when I started to realize I was like, right, I'm carrying a lot more fat than I realized, because I was like so fat that even when I lost like 3 pounds, 2 pounds, like 2 to 3 pounds a week, I was still big. And you know yourself, normally when you have like a big drop like that, you're like, oh, fuck, some new details in that. Nothing was coming. And I was constantly tensing my abs and you couldn't see them at all. And like we were both like, everybody apart from me, like Lisa, my coach, my posing coach, like everybody around me were kind of like, yeah, just once you lose a little bit more and you shave, like you'll be able to see it. But I knew, like, I was looking in the mirror and I was like, there is so much. Like, do you know when you're like, I don't know if you've ever pushed to the point where you're that big that when you grab your stomach, like the fat's kind of hard, so it feels like it's muscle, but you know yourself like it's fat. Like you grab it and it's like solid and it sits in your hands. It's not like jiggly. It's just like there.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I still had that like 6 to 8 weeks in. So yeah, like 12 weeks out, I was a bit panicked and I was like, all right, okay. And then I got a little bit like further in and it was probably about 6 weeks. It was about 8 to 10 weeks out. I was like, all right, I'm going to have to start really digging in here. Like I'm going to have to start. I didn't get none of that, like, do you know, like that luxury fat loss that you get at the start where it's like, you know, they have put too much effort in and it just falls off you. I didn't get any of that. Like I felt like straight off the bat, I was like, right, head down time. For I think like 3 or 4 weeks before the show, I was on about 1,400 calories on non-training days, 1,650 to 1,500 on training days. I was doing 20,000 steps, and that's not including training or the Stairmaster. I was doing an hour on the Stairmaster every day. I was doing 20 minutes on the cross trainer for like the last 2 weeks, and I was having to like tag on like an incline walk on the treadmill for like 30 minutes.
Jesus.
And honestly, like I've just absolutely like gone for it, but I'm still not shredded. Like I'm lean, but I'm not shredded. I'd say I'm like photo shoot lean just now.
So you started doing all that with the 20,000 steps and the incline walk and the 1,500 calories 10 weeks out?
No, probably about 6 weeks. Yeah, probably about 6 weeks out.
And from the realization initially that you had to 6 weeks out, was there any change to the plan in that time frame?
There was frequent changes, but I was already like pushing harder than like what was on the plan. So I was just like already just like, I was just getting after it. Things slowly crept up. So maybe like, I can't remember fully. I do have a bit of prep brain. Like I can't remember fully if it was 6 weeks or if it was a little bit longer. And what had ended up happening is like one of those pillars would have been where it was, and then I would have just added another one along. So it was maybe like over 6 weeks I'd worked up to that, and then there was like 3, maybe 4 weeks of like all of that, like just going for it. But I remember telling a couple members in the gym, I was like, I think I was just about to go on the Stairmaster, and they were like, Tom, you're looking amazing. You must be excited for your show. And I think I had 3 or 4 weeks, and I was like, I need to lose like 10 pounds, like quick. And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, I am not lean enough. And I think I took off like, I want to say like 7 or 8 pounds in 3 days. Like having lost like 40 odd pounds already, it was rough. Like I didn't want to speak to anybody. I didn't want to like be friendly. I didn't have the energy to like, you know what I'm like I'm always happy, like excited. I'm like a Labrador. I didn't want to be that. Like I didn't want to be that. I was like, just everybody just shut the fuck up, leave me alone. Like I just need to get these things done, and I'll see you tomorrow. Like that's all I wanted to do. Like I was saying, like there was a happiness, like see the feeling of knowing that I was doing it, like I was ticking it off. I had like anxiety, like serious feelings of anxiety thinking about the Stairmaster because an hour on there, but see as soon as I'd done it, I was like I was roaring. I was like, ah! Like I was going nuts. There was a couple of times where like my eyes were filling up with tears because I was like, you fucking done it. You fucking managed to keep going. Like it was rough.
If any of the listeners think, oh, I've done an hour on the Stairmaster before, just try doing it for 6 weeks straight while not eating after losing 20-something kilos.
I don't know if it's
the same.
Our Stairmaster, like, our Stairmasters are quite quick, and I'm doing them on like a level 11. I feel fit just now. Like I really feel fit, but I don't have the energy to go do some fitness other than that Stairmaster.
So can I ask you why, when you had this realization 6 weeks out, what made you push through anyway?
So this is something that I've been trying to work on, and I don't know if this is what makes a good man. I don't know. I want to get better at finishing what I say I'm going to do or doing what I say I'm going to do. And because I said I was going to compete then, I was like, right, well, there's a deadline for this. and there's a place you want to and need to be like competitive, because I still had that goal of like wanting to win, of wanting to do well, of wanting to be in the mix with like the best guys. And I just knew, I was like, right, you need to take off like as much as you possibly can in this time. And I got really close at one point to not doing it, and I hope he listens, because he likes listening to my podcast. He likes listening to me speak to other folk. Martin, if you're listening, you're a fucking husky, and honestly, I do genuinely love you, man. He like stood across from me in the gym, because I was telling him, I was like, I don't know if it's possible to do what needs done. And I was like, and that's not me like giving up. That's not me. I was like, this is me trying to think of this as like a coach, as a sports scientist. Like, I don't know if it's possible. And he just looked me dead in the eyes, and he was like, if anybody's going to do it, you're going to manage to do it. And it just fucking hit me. And I was like, right, well, let's fucking try then. Let's just see if I can do this. And like I just started to crank everything up. Like, I was just relentless. Like that, the only way I could describe it is I was relentless. Like, I was just like, right, how do I burn as many calories as I can? And is there anything that I can do that's going to reduce the amount of calories that I'm taking in, that's not going to impact the meals that I'm having? So like, I started to get pretty stringent with or stingy with the sauces that I was using. Like, I started to like, I would just get like a little dribble on there, and it would just be adding a little bit of taste. But we've spoken about this before. Prep tongue, when lettuce tastes nice, is unbelievable. So it was okay. Like, I was able to get through it. But this is the other thing. Like, I was always losing weight. I just wasn't looking better. Like, and like, weight's been consistently coming off, like 2 to 3 pounds every week, every single week. But I just didn't look better. Like, I was just not looking better. And whether that's down to stress, whether that's down to being just too fat, whether it's down to, I don't know, be it my age, I don't know. Not making as much progress as I thought. I'm still not 100% sure. But I do feel like we just ever so slightly missed the mark. Like, we came in the best that I could. Like, I do feel like that. I do feel like I gave 110%, but I probably wasn't ready to step on stage on Sunday just there. Like, I wasn't stage lean. I was actually a little bit embarrassed and mortified. Like, remember you text me and asked me how I got on, and that was like my response. And you were like, do you want to talk about this? And I was like, I do actually. I think it would be good to talk about. Like, I was embarrassed that, like, because if someone shows up on a show day and they're not lean, you normally think that they've not put the work in. You're normally like, they've half-assed this. Whereas, like, I knew I hadn't half-assed it, but I still looked like I had. And I was mortified, but in like 2 levels. As a coach, because it made me look like I didn't know how to do this. Like, or how to get other people to do it. And I've put one person on stage who was absolutely inside out shredded, Graham. I've done a few photo shoot clients, all looked unbelievable. And then, like, I kind of, like, fell behind, like, where I'd got other people. And, like, as a coach, though, you only get, like, that first impression. Like, and if someone was looking for a coach and they seen me and they seen how soft I was compared to everybody else, they would have been like, well, I'm not going to him. He didn't really know how to get lean. And then as an athlete, like, I am unhealthily competitive. Like, it is genuinely unhealthy. And when I went in and I just knew, like, I wasn't even going to get a second look. I do still think I finished between like 9th and 11th out of 13. So I'd be really chuffed if I finished top 10 in that lineup, because the group of guys that were there that day were unbelievable. And I'll come back round to that, like, because that kind of helped me a few days later. But even when I was on stage, I was like, I don't really need to try, because nobody's even looking at me. Like, the best guys are the best by a country mile. And I know a lot of people, like, or like the trendy word to use just now is like, oh, that was humbling. That was it. Like, it really made me see, like, the levels, or like the boxes, or like, you know, those Russian dolls where you like open it up and there's another one inside, and then you open that and there's another one. Yeah, there's like, that's what bodybuilding's like. And there's probably someone, or there's like a doll that's smaller, but it's harder to be that doll. But they're bigger, they're leaner, they're more aesthetic than what you are, do you know? And that really, like, made me see that. And a big thing of it as well is, like, it made me realize that, like, I don't have the genetics that a lot of people have. I'm willing to work hard. I've put in a lot of hard work, but so have they. They've put in equally as much work. They've put in as equally as hard work. They potentially even put in more because they came in leaner, they look bigger, they're better. But you cannot compete with some genetics. Like, David, I'm telling you, and I can't find this guy's Instagram, and when I do, I'll send it to you, right? This guy's waist was like smaller than my wife's. And his shoulders were probably like half a foot broader than mine either side. Like, I was in awe of this guy. And he was as nice as they come. And that was another beautiful thing. And this will tie more into like Thursday morning. So since this is still Sunday, like on the show, I was fucking mortified. Like, I'm not even in the same league as these boys. And I think I am, and I thought I was. Looking back at photos, maybe if I was quite a bit leaner, I maybe do have some of the size and shape to be able to stand next to them, but I definitely wouldn't have beat them. And by stand next to them, I mean that like I wouldn't have looked out of place. Whereas because of how soft I was, because of like how effortless, I didn't even try when we were posing. I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I was like, fuck this. Like, what am I fucking doing? Like, I'm embarrassed. But yeah, since the show, like, my mood's kind of changed, and it's a shame that we couldn't have like recorded something straight away, because I would have just been Debbie Downer, doom and gloom, like fucking miserable, and then recorded another one now because my mood's picked back up. But something that, and I spoke to you a little briefly like about this, is like something that I've noticed with me was like when I was going through all this, I kept thinking of like athlete. So like I went through this like pendulum swinging, right? And this side was like super negative, like you're shit at bodybuilding. There's no point. You've not even tried that hard. You're just trying to tell everybody you have. Like, give up. That's it. Done. Season's done. You hate it. And then it would swing back, and it would be like, look, just feel your feelings. Like, go through these emotions. Like, you're allowed to have emotions. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to be disappointed. And then I would swing back, and I'd be like, shut the fuck up, Thomas. You're an idiot. Like, why would anybody listen to you? But what ended up happening is like when I was on this like negative side, that's the only time people spoke to me. So it was like I was feeling a little bit better, and then it would swing back, and it would like affirm all the negativity, and then it would go back, and I'd feel better, and I'd be like talk myself through it, and I'd be like, right, come on, calm down, like it's not that bad, like you have done your best, just finish what you said you were going to do. Like these next couple of weeks are going to be pretty easy. Like you're probably not going to get much leaner. Like don't worry about it. Just coast through it. Do the next show. Tick it off. It's done. And then I would swing back, and like the hyper competitive me was like, well, what's the point? You don't want to just show up. You want to win. You want to compete. And you're not going to. Like, there's nothing you could do in this time that's going to make you good enough. And then I would swing back, and I'd be like, right, well, how would you speak to a client in this situation? Like, would you let them quit? Would you say to them, like, yeah, you're right, you're shit, just stop? I'd be like, nah, you're not come this far to only come this far. Like, you've done your best, and this is a UVU game. Like, it's not. Like, the competitive side and getting compared, that's just part of the sport, but the whole game's still UVU. And it just kept swinging. The pendulum kept going back and forth and back and forth. And that was like Monday and Tuesday, just constant swinging. Like I'd feel all right, and then I'd be like mega negative towards myself. And I was pretty much like this close to packing in. I even text my coach being like, look, there's a slim chance I'm going to compete again. But maybe we should jump on a call and try and talk through it. And then yesterday morning, there was 3 older women in the gym. And it was about 7 a.m. And they asked me something that nobody else had asked me. Like, everybody else had asked me, like, how did you get on? And the true response was shite. Like, I was like, I think I came second last, or, like, I've not done well. Like, that's, like, the truth of it. And, like, because going into it with, like, such a pinprick target and, like, slapping up off to the side, like, it was, like, honestly, like, it felt like I'd done shit. Like, I was like, I have done fucking diabolical. But these 3 women, they asked me something, and I wish I could remember what they said, but it was like, how was your weekend? And it like made me like it made me think of it all totally different. Like one of my best mates came and seen me on Sunday. Came and seen me on Saturday. So I got to just like hang out with him all day. Lisa was there, and I've not really got to spend quality time with Lisa for like the past like 20 weeks because I've just been prep, work. So we got to fly down to Luton. We got to just like hang out. We were like just going to the show. We were like leaving it. It was sunny. We were like chilling out. These athletes, like I swear, like these guys were the best physiques I've ever seen. The guy that won my category, the amateur men's physique medium, won his pro card and then came second in the pro show.
Wow. Okay.
Mate, I think he started competing this year.
Jesus.
He won like novice and beginner at the start of the year, somehow got bigger and leaner throughout the year, came to the show, was undeniable. There was him and another two guys that were really, really close, like really, really good. But even when everybody lined up and I looked along the line, I was like, this will be one of the best amateur lineups there's ever been. And I remember thinking that, but I was like, but I'm not even in it. And then when I told those older women that, they were like, oh, wow, so you were a part of that. And I was like, actually, yeah.
So cute.
I was a part of that, and that is cool. And it just, I don't know, like, I think I was like mid-swing. But because it was like 7 a.m. and these 3 older women that didn't need to hear me grumping and moaning, I just said to them, and the way that they asked, like, it was like about the weekend. It wasn't about the competition. It wasn't about how I done. It was just like, how was your weekend? Because they were like, you had a show or something, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, I did actually. But I had a great weekend. I was a part of a fucking unbelievable show. I'd done my best. Like, I genuinely have done my best, but it just wasn't good enough. I don't think I maybe could have taken a bit more off somehow if we'd started pushing a lot harder earlier. But I think with like the amount of work that I needed to do, I probably would have packed things in. But like, that kind of changed my whole perspective of it. And then I also had a couple conversations with people that I do respect and I appreciate within the sport. And they said, like, shape was there, posing was great, presentation was good. You just need to get leaner. And like the fact that it's just that I wasn't lean enough, that's like winning the lottery and then being upset that you didn't get a refund for your lottery ticket. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's such a small thing that like I can put a bit more work in, and I can run other shows, and I can try and do my best and present my best this year by getting a little bit leaner, by pushing just for a little bit longer. And it's like completely changed my perspective. Is bodybuilding a forever thing for me, though? I'm still kind of not sure on that side. Like, I do think this will be the last year that I do it, but do I want to make sure that I go out with a bang? 100%. 100%.
So you do have other shows as well?
Yeah, so I've got the PCA, which is in Wolverhampton, in not this weekend, but next weekend. And then I'm going to potentially sign up to a show in Norway, which is the first weekend in October, and then Calgary over in Canada, which is the second week in October. But I might skip the Norway one, keep digging to try and take off as much fat as I possibly can, go over to Canada and compete there, because I want to travel about. Like I'm 37, David, and this is potentially like the last chance that I'll be able to feel like a pro athlete, like traveling with, like, for sport, it being about me on that day. Like, I'm getting to an age now where like I maybe need to stop doing that so regularly. I don't know. I'm going to try and keep doing shit, you know, like I still want to keep doing sport and exercise and activity, but this is like, bodybuilding is one of those selfish things that you can, it's all you, it's all about you, it's everything's down to you. You're not the same person. And I kind of want to think like, right, just treat these next like 4 weeks as though you are a professional athlete, keep living it, see it out, and then you can call it a day. But like, you need to bring your best, the best you ever, before you call it a day. And it's like, honestly, like that sway, don't get me wrong, this morning when I woke up again and I all of a sudden felt starving hungry again, my energy was low, I slept only until like 2 o'clock in the morning last night. And like, I've pretty much been awake since then. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, I'm probably not going to be able to do enough to be one of the best, but I can still dig in and I can still do everything I possibly can to bring my best.
I had no idea you were still dieting. I thought it was just this one show. Like, I'm surprised you're so good at forming full sentences at this stage.
It's because I'm not that lean. It's because I'm not shredded. But I do also, I've been thinking about this quite a bit as well. Like, you know my energy levels. You know what I'm like when I'm normal.
Yeah.
I am like a Labrador. Like, I'm up there. I'm excited about everything. I'm real happy. I want to speak to everybody. I want to hear everybody's opinions and thoughts, and I want to hear it. And I'll give you mine, and I'll talk to you about mine, and I'll answer you. When you ask me a question, I'll try and answer it as best I possibly can. And I think like the average person's here, and I'm just a little bit above it. So like when your energy's coming down, I think I'm still like just about or thereabouts like the average person, or maybe just below it. So it seems like I've got a lot more energy than what I do, but I am gubbed, if that makes sense.
So even Calgary is about 4 weeks from now, is it?
Calgary's the 11th of October.
Oh, wow. So what's the goal? How much are you trying to take off still?
I think I'll probably have to try and get down to about 72-ish. 73, 72.
You said 76 now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do. I think I'm going to have to. I think I'm going to have to get like... And that's nearly as light as what I got in 2019.
Do you think you will be leaner?
Yeah, I think so.
You said that you kept losing weight, but you didn't look better. Obviously, you were in a massive deficit as well, right? 2-3 pounds every single week, output super high. How much muscle have you lost, do you think?
Quite a bit, to be honest. Like, one of the biggest things that I noticed is, like, see when you see old videos and photos of me, my shoulders, like, you could sit on them. Like, I had these, like, real big platform shoulders, but that's kind of gone. I think I've done all right because I've not missed a beat. Like, I've ate the exact same meals just for simplicity the whole time. So, and like, I've managed to create a pretty good structure that's like, I will eat pre-workout, then intra-workout, post-workout, like at times. Like, I just, right, that's that time. And I've been like hyper vigilant with it. Like, right, it's that time. Whatever I'm doing, I'm putting tools down and I'm going and eating. And it's been pretty much just like I think like 2.4 to 2.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. And like, that's kind of stayed like, so pretty much all my calories just now are protein. Like, I don't get much else. I think I'm on like 90 grams of fat a day. No, I'm not.
How much? What?
No, I'm not.
90 grams of fat a week, you mean?
I'm on like 90 grams of carbs. I think like 24, 25 grams of fat, and then like 2 something of protein. This is one of the big sways that keeps happening is I'm in pretty good shape just now. I've got enough energy that like if I was to start to reverse out, there's no way I'd be like gorging, binging or anything like that. Like, I'd be able to come out of this quite comfortably. And I'd probably be able to maintain this, I think. And I know everybody says that when they're dieting down, but like how I feel, I'm quietly confident that I could maintain this. And part of me is like, do I just come out of it, maintain this, and just gradually get leaner over the next like 3-4 years just to look good out with bodybuilding? It's no longer about bodybuilding. It's just about me wanting to look good. And I'd never realized how much I enjoyed looking good until this time now. And it is just like such a huge, for me, huge confidence thing. Like, I like the way clothes sit on me. I like the way that like if say someone was, I don't know, like just before I left the gym there, my t-shirt was soaked wet through with sweat. I knew I was running a bit late. I just like whipped my t-shirt off in the middle of the gym and then threw another t-shirt on. And like, I didn't feel self-conscious or anything doing that. Like, I was just like, get that t-shirt changed. Whereas before, I would have always been like, right, quickly nip to the toilet, take that t-shirt off. But like, I would have always been like that. So part of me is like, that is like one of the big parts that's like keep kind of niggling at me. Like and you know yourself, like there's a point once you push past, all you think about is food. All you want to do is like binge on like anything. You start watching bloody 10,000 calorie challenges and you can't help but think about food constantly. And I'm not that bad just now. And I don't know if it's because I'm so busy with work or if I am just managing to deal with dieting a little bit better. And that's actually maybe something we could talk about just now. What do you think gets people better at dieting? Like, remember I've spoke about like people need to try and get better at fat loss? Like, prepping's different to just fat loss. And what do you think makes people better at like a prep when it's extreme?
I was reading something the other day and I saw this quote that said, whoever tries to, it wasn't about dieting or anything, whoever tries undertaking this challenge must be painfully unaware of the difficulties of it in order to be successful. And that sort of reminded me of dieting a little bit, you know, because the very first time, I think people are often more successful than the second time. What do you think?
I think so. I've noticed that with clients.
Otherwise, in a longer time horizon, I think there are things that make it easier that you just learn, but neither of us have people that have done it so many times to see a pattern, you know? You can just talk for yourself, I think. What do you think it is?
So I've actually got like 3 or 4 clients that I've dieted like multiple times. They're just people that want to. First time round, it's like they always come to me. They're like, "Oh, I've got a holiday in like 12 weeks. I'm wanting to be in the best shape, or I feel shit about myself. I'm looking to try and just get a bit leaner, get a bit healthier, a bit fitter and stronger." And we diet down the first time, and they end up getting like, wow, like, impressively lean. And then I'll say, right, you've now come back to me and said a few times that you think you want to get bigger. We can either push to get a little bit leaner now, or we can start to reverse out and then go up into a gaining phase, just like slow and steady. And tell me if you agree with this as well. The first time everybody goes into a gaining phase, it's always a little bit sloppy. They always like get to a point of like, oh, I can eat.
It's a fat gaining phase.
Yeah, everyone's first one's a little bit sloppy. And then, like you said, like the second dieting phase is like some people are like overly confident. They're like, yeah, I know how to do this. I can do it. I've been in a deficit before. I know what hungry feels like. And they almost like hold back. Like they don't give it their everything. They don't really push. They don't, I'll just have a little bit extra today. I've only done 8,000 steps. That'll do. I don't need to get to 10. Like I feel like they do that because they experience it a couple times the first time and it's okay. But the second time, they almost allow for it to happen a few more times. And there's like this overconfidence, or there's like this, I know how to do this. I can do this. I don't need to do as hard as I did. So yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. And I've had a few people, and then like I say to them, like, look, nobody's second fat loss phase is as successful as their first one because you know you can do it. There's not the excitement of like, well, I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, the novelty.
What I also find is, and you've dieted to the extremities a couple of times yourself, right? The second time, you're waiting for it to feel like what it feels like the last 5-6 weeks from day one. You're like, right, when's it going to get horrible? When's it going to get horrible? When's it going to get horrible? And I think that's what happened different this time. So like this is my third extremity diet, 2019, 2021, then 2025. I was like, right, just get started. It's going to be easy for like the first 12 to 14 weeks, and then it gets hard. But for some reason, it got hard real quick. And I don't know if it's because I pushed a little bit harder. I don't know if it's because my food was lower, my expenditure was high. I don't know. But I was hungry really quick, and I was tired and fatigued, like not recovering fast.
Was your sleep on point?
Nah, my sleep's never really that good, to be perfectly honest. Like, never. And my coach has said this multiple times that he's never seen sleep as bad as mine. Like,
seriously? Like in terms of what? Quality or hours or what?
Both. So, for example, last night, right? I went to bed, I fall asleep effortlessly. Like, I could fall asleep, no problem. I could fall asleep anywhere. If I close my eyes now, I'd be able to fall asleep, right? But I'd probably only sleep for like 5 to 15 minutes. What happened last night is I fell asleep at about, it must have been about 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish, because I go to bed early, I wake up early. And I woke up like half an hour later, like wide awake, like ready to go do stuff, like buzzing to do stuff. So I always just go for a pee, and then I go back to bed, and I try and cuddle into Lisa, and I can normally fall back asleep again, right? I woke up at 11:30, but like craving a coffee, and like I had like a to-do list that like just appeared in my head that I'm like, if you get all that done, you're going to be ahead this week in work. So I had to get up, I had to write. So like I've got diaries, notepads, fucking everywhere, right? Everywhere. I wrote everything down, went back to bed, and I was like, right, just go to sleep. You can deal with all that in the morning. I woke back up at 2. But I'd said to myself, because I knew it was 2 o'clock, I was like, right, I'll wait till after 3. And as soon as I wake up again and it's after 3, I'll get up. Because I was still craving that coffee. I still wanted that coffee taste so badly. It got to like, I just lay there pretty much. And I was like, don't you dare get up. Like, time in bed's going to be better than actually just getting up. So just close your eyes, just try and daydreams, like snooze if you can. Next time I open my eyes and check my phone, and I don't normally check my phone I put this outside the room, so I have the choice, like, right, go check the time or just stay in bed and fall back asleep. I get up, I go and I look, and it's like 3:20, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, just get up. So I get up and I do an hour and a half of work, and mate, most nights that's kind of what it's like. Or I'll wake up at like 1 a.m. and I'll be like wide awake, and I'm talking like wide awake. I'll go downstairs and I'll just like read for an hour or so, and then I'll go back to bed and hopefully fall back asleep. But it's so bad, and I know how bad that is for you.
Have you tried like supplementing into the bunch of things?
Right.
I'm guessing you have tried everything.
So what I do is I come off my phone at about 6:30ish. Like, you won't get a response from me about 6:30. The room gets dimmed, everything gets like cooled down, like everything's dark. I lay down on the couch. I'll eat my final meal like 2 hours before I go to bed. I'll take magnesium. I'll take ashwagandha, 5-HTP. I take like an electrolyte sleep drink. I have a sleep tea that's got lemon balm in it, and then I'll put like lavender like face oil on, and I go to bed at exact same time every night. And honestly, I don't know what it is. I think I'm very stressed all the time. Like, I've never had a low heart rate. I think my body's just, and I really want to find out if there is like potential there. Like, people will say like, oh, a lot of people have said to me like, oh, I think you've got ADHD or stuff like that. I feel like it's more like an adrenaline thing. Like, my mind works real quick, and I don't know if it's from like I don't know. Like, we've spoke about like therapy and things before. Like, I'd quite like to go speak to a therapist about like, I wonder if I've just had this my entire life and I've just gotten used to it. Do you know? Like, I've just like, since when, like, I believe it'd probably be from when my mum and dad split up, but I think I was like 6 or 7 years old then. But yeah, my sleeps, but see if I get a full sleep. Like, if I go to bed at 8 and I wake up at 5, so I get like full 9 hours. Like, that's what I try and aim. I allow myself 9 hours in bed. I'm like sharp, like open. Like, I can listen better, I can answer better, I can hear things and remember things better. And I only get that like, it normally happens like, say, 2-3 days on the trot, and then it just disappears, like it stops. 2-3 days on the trot, and then it'll stop. And that'll maybe happen like once every 3-4 weeks.
What was it like when you went on holiday for your honeymoon recently, for example, Toulouse?
I was still having to wake up and like go read a book.
Crazy. Have you tried melatonin?
Yeah, so it almost has like the opposite. Like, it kind of wakes me up. I have to like time it perfect. If I don't time it perfect, it's like it keeps me awake.
Crazy.
It's honestly, it's so bad. It is bad, and I know it's like, I've had a feeling for like pretty much my whole life that I will die young. And now that I'm a bit older and I have a better understanding of things, I think like lack of sleep is just going to wreck me when I'm older. It's something that I'm trying to improve because I do know how important it is.
Well, that's not going to make the whole dieting and not losing muscle easier either, right?
Yeah.
And not suffering.
I'll tell you what I am pretty good at, though, is taking like breaks in the day. Like, just a little like 10-15 minutes, just like daydream, 10-15 minute, like maybe just read a few pages from the book that I'm reading. Like, doing that, and that it's like a reset. It's not quite sleep, and I know it's not as good as sleep. And anybody that's listening, don't think that you can change sleep for just like a wee break from work. Like, it doesn't. But it recharges me to be able to push on again. Like, I start to feel myself get a little bit tired, and then I'm like, right, go either sit downstairs for 5 minutes, go sit out the back, look at the sea, something like a little 5 minutes of that. Right, okay, I'm good to go. Right, I'm ready to go again. And that seems to help. I would like to get a nap in. I'd like to get used to just a little afternoon, 35 minutes, 45 minutes.
Have you ever done NSDR? Non-sleep deep rest?
No.
So it's pretty similar to what you just described, except you close your eyes. It's like a guided meditation, but I think Huberman was talking about it as if it was neurological like reset.
Right. Okay.
Like you just switch off for a little bit, but you're not actually quite sleeping. And I
Well,
did it
that's
a
what I
few
do.
times, and it's quite refreshing. But it just sounds like the entire routine is like 20 minutes, and you sound like you can just do the same thing in 5.
So this is one of the things that like maybe I do have ADHD, and as long as like my attention goes somewhere else for a little bit, it's ready to then go back to that thing. You know, like maybe there is
Right.
something there. You know, I don't know. I did get assessed for it, and they said I didn't have it, so I believe I don't have it.
Have you ever taken weed?
Yeah, I used to smoke a fair bit when I played basketball in America.
How was your sleep then?
Right, so I would sleep unbelievable, but I wouldn't. I'd wake up feeling like hungover. Like I would wake up not feeling rested. But I would sleep
Right.
from like the moment I went to bed to the moment I woke up. But I would wake up like feeling hungover and like tired and lethargic, like I hadn't slept.
Wow.
You know what I need to do, David? I need to take ayahuasca. I need to rocket my brain to the moon and then just like it can figure all its own nonsense out, and then I'll be able to sleep better. I guess I could talk a little bit about like stropping, like being stroppy and
Stroking?
grumpy. Yeah, like being childish almost, like throw my toys out the pram. Like that's kind of how I was after Sunday. But
Oh, right.
like I just almost knew I needed to feel it. Like I was like, lean into this. Like you are embarrassed, you are upset, but that's okay. Like it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to be human. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay. Like feel it. Don't try and like hide it. Don't try and mask it. Don't try and like think that this needs to not happen right now. And I think that also helped. Like I think really leaning into these negative feelings, letting myself feel them, would let them pass. I think it made them help pass a lot quicker. I think. I don't know if there's anything in that, but I did. I was constantly battling in my head, like constantly, man.
Battle about what though? Just
Whether to
not
keep,
being good enough for bodybuilding, or
yeah, like whether to keep going or whether to just give up. Um, but I kept thinking about everybody around me, and like a lot of people did reach out and ask nice questions, and I said so many wise things that like I wish I'd like screenshot all my messages because I was able to slow down. Like I was able to slow myself down. And when I played basketball, I used to like flip my lip. Like I used to like lose my mind. I used to punch walls. I used to like kick balls out of the game. I used to get kicked off the team all the time. Like honestly, all the time for like having such a short temper. And like I could feel that bubbling up in me a little bit at the weekend. And I was like, I hate this. Like the reason I don't play basketball anymore is because I don't want to feel like this anymore. But like you're a grown man now. Like feel it. Like when I was young, I tried to just get it out. Like I tried to like let it build up, and then I'd be like, just like let it happen. Whereas I was like, this time I was like, just let it keep building up. Like let it keep building up until you do explode. Like keep it going, keep it going. And I think the fact that I just like let myself keep feeling it, like it dissipated a lot quicker. Like the whole idea of like throwing the towel in, packing it in, not giving not giving the. I would never have like disrespected the sport because I love what it's about. I love what people can do, and I love that you get these like unbelievable physiques that have done the same work as everybody else, and you get to see that. Like I love all of that stuff, honestly. But like I was almost like disrespecting it in my head. Like I was almost like, yeah, fuck it, it's stupid. It's a stupid sport, and who the hell do the judges think they are to judge me? And I was like, but I was thinking all this stuff, and I was like, come on, man, like this. You don't actually feel like this. You're just trying to make the situation feel a bit better for yourself. But it's okay. It's okay to feel like this. Like it's okay that it didn't go to plan. It's okay, and it's your fault. Like, and I knew this because of being a coach. I was like, because you had such a tiny target to try and hit, and the fact that you've missed it, you can't be too upset. Like you've aimed as high as you possibly could. You've tried your fucking hardest. Like, be happy with that. But then I'd be like, man, nah, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And that is, it was a constant battle of like, I'm not good enough. I want to give up. And then it was against like, but you tell other people that even if they don't get things perfect, they need to keep going. And you tell people to not aim for such like at like precision targets. Like, you know yourself, when someone will come at you and say, "Oh, I want to lose like 13 pounds," you're like, "How about we just lose 1 and then we'll see what happens?" Like, you might lose 5 pounds and look way better. Someone said, like, someone gave me a perfect example as well. Like, if your goal's to like win the league in, say, like a football team, if you get to the final, you've still done well. But if you lose in the final, you can't then just decide that, like, oh well, crap season, no point, might as well all quit. Like, and that's why I feel like now that I've managed to calm down, I've settled myself. But like, I genuinely, and that was the other thing as well. I was really embarrassed with how I was like reacting and responding with it, like internally. Like, it felt very immature. Like, it felt like I was like, "You're a grown man. You should know better than this. You have good sportsmanship. Like, stop trying to like find a flaw in everything else. You just weren't good enough today, and that's okay. Because not everybody can be the best."
I think it also makes it harder that you do it in front of so many other people, doesn't it?
So I said this to someone this morning. I don't really get that like stage frighty feeling.
No, I meant your audience, your clients, people in your gym.
There was definitely that, because as well, I'd been saying to them, like, I was like, "I'm gunning for number 1 in the world. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give everything. That's why I'm gonna go into a 4-year off season, and I'm gonna gain as much." Like, I was like, holy shit. Like, how do I even tell them that like I've not placed? I didn't even get first call outs. Like, I'm not lean enough. Like, I've not actually even done what needs done to be there. Anybody could step on stage, but like, there was a standard that I hold for myself that I didn't quite achieve. That, again, I was kind of embarrassed about that as well.
You said in the beginning that having self-belief helps you in chasing things, right?
Yeah.
But this is the cost of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, when it doesn't work out, it just hurts that much more.
Mate, like, it was like falling off the face of it was like falling off a cliff. It was just like, yeah, you're the man, you're the man, you're the man. And then as soon as I walked into the back room and I seen like 4 of the guys, I was like, holy shit. Like, I knew 2 of them, and I was like, he's just won a show. He's just won his pro card somewhere else. Like, he's probably got one of the best physiques I've ever seen in my life. Like, I am in the wrong room. I was like, oh God. But then I got chatting to them, and then they were nice guys. And like, a thing that I liked as well is like, when someone's good at something, they're never going to be a dick about it. They're probably going to be like, "Hey, you've put in a good effort. Like, shape looks good." Like, they would give me compliments on things, and I was like, "Guys, shut." Like, I know that I've missed the mark here. Like, and that was almost like winding me up as well. But then, like me, I was just chatting to the other guys. I was just like, trying to get them excited. I was trying to like make sure that they felt confident going out. Like, just like naturally started to turn into a coach when I realized like I wasn't going to be able to do great. But I think I still would have done that anyway. I think I still would have like tried to hype the guys up. I wanted to compete against the best. I wanted to put it like a comparison of where I was at to the best. I just think I was massively disappointed that I was so far off where the best levels are, that I did just feel like totally deflated. But I've come away. I feel okay now. Like, I feel good. Like, I've just got to dig in a little bit. I've got to take a little bit more fat off. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be as good as those boys, but it means that I've done my best, and I didn't quit when I really wanted to quit. And there is not a better feeling. There's not a better feeling that comes along with like knowing that you want to stop, justifying it in your head that it's good to stop. There's reasons to stop, but hearing that little voice saying, "Just keep going, just keep going, see it out till the end." Like, and you know the Kobe Bryant quote that's like, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." Like, I kind of kept saying that to myself as well, and I was like, right, see it out, do the full thing, then stop. Because if you stop now, in a week's time, you'll be miserable. And then I also here's something else that I said to myself that like made me like not give up. Is I said to Lisa, my wife, I was like, right, look, we'll still go down to Wolverhampton. There's loads of nice coffee shops. There's probably some nice restaurants. We'll be able to just go for like, we'll be able to just like run around the city. We'll be able to just get a croissant here and there. We'll be able to just enjoy a nice coffee. We'll go to the show. And as soon as I said we'll go to the show, I started thinking about everybody else getting pumped up, everybody else going on stage, everybody else getting their tan. And I was like, as soon as you see that, you'll be like, fuck, I should have kept going. And that like flicked the switch where I was like, do not have the regret or the feeling of like, well, what if? Like, what happens if nobody shows up to this show and I end up winning it? Like, my perspective of bodybuilding would completely change. You know what I mean? Like, the likelihood of that happening is very small, but you never know. You never know. And I'd rather not have what ifs in my life and like just like definitively say like, oh, 2025, I ended up competing in the year when all the best in the world were fucking there. So it made me look crap, but here's what I looked like. And as long as that ends up being like my best, like a lot of people have said some really nice things about my physique, which is like a bit of a weird thing being like so like I didn't really share much of my journey. Like me and you've spoke about that a couple of times. Like I didn't really share much about like my gaining phases. I didn't really share too much about my like cutting until like right at the very end. And it wasn't because I was embarrassed about not losing weight. I still showed people that I still had a fat belly. Like I still showed that. But it's just because it wasn't my best. And even not my best, still having people say really nice things. I'm like don't be one of those guys that's like, yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Just say thanks, because and this is a thing, you'll have said this to clients. There'll be people that'll look at clients, they'll look at you, people listening as well. Like there will be people looking at you wishing that they looked like you.
100%. I had this client like a month ago, and he was like, in 2 years, he completely transformed himself with me, and he was finishing with his diet, he was starting to push up, increasing his food, and he was like, listen, I don't want to track calories anymore. I'm miserable, stepping on the scales, weighing out things, and I'm focusing on the wrong things when I'm really just like should be getting up in the morning, looking in the mirror and realizing I'm in the best fucking shape of my life ever. And it's just distracting from that. And yeah, like your shape is insane and you don't get to appreciate it because of everything else going on.
Well, another thing this morning, like when I went down to the gym, in my head, I was like, right, get a pump. Let's look at the physique and see how it looks. And right before I took my top off, right, I said to myself, you're about to check your six pack. Like, take a second to appreciate what you've done, what you've got. Like, you didn't do great in a show, but you're in I look away, and we spoke about this together, and you don't have to mention it, right? I look how I've wanted to look my entire life. Like, I had a vision of my physique and how I wanted it to be. And I have that right now. But this was one of the reasons to quit the bodybuilding, because I was like, well, you've achieved what you want to, so just stop there. But then there is the other side of me that's like, well, what happens if you can get it a little bit better? What happens if you can see the season out, you can finish off saying what you've done? Like, so that's swaying. But like, when I was about to take my top off and I was about to look at my six pack, I was like, you have to appreciate, Thomas, what you've done. This isn't just like that pinprick target that you were trying to hit. You've done something. There's more millionaires out there in the world now than there are people with six packs. And I'm walking about with a six pack. What do they say? You've got to be able to see the trees for the leaves or something like that. Like, look at the bigger picture. Don't just look at this like tiny little thing that you missed. Like, there's so much more around it. And that made me feel a bit better this morning as well. In like a vanity sort of way, I suppose. Or
do you think this pendulum will keep swinging now, but maybe to less of an extreme?
So I actually said to Lisa, like the other morning, I said to her, I was like, right, the pendulum's kind of stopped swinging because I've made a definitive answer that I am going to finish up the season. Like, I've said I'm going to do it. Like, and now that I've just like fully wholeheartedly committed, it's taken away that choice. So it's like, right, well, there's no choice there now. So there's no point in swinging over there. Just get on with it. You know, like, just keep focusing on your own thing. Just keep pushing yourself. Just keep eating your food, hit your steps, do your cardio. And I think like once you take away so much choice, I think it becomes a lot easier to just do what needs done. It also takes away that idea of like the excuses that you can start to make up because you just don't even think about them because you're like, well, I've said I'm going to do it, so just get on with it.
I think about that a lot nowadays because, well, I'm still clueless about which direction I want to take my life in. And you know, previously, like 5 years ago, when the business was much smaller and we barely had any online presence, it was very obvious what I was going to do. I was going to keep building the in-person in London,
Mm.
And then as you get more options, and right now I could, move to very many places and make a good living just with the online. It just comes with so much confusion.
Have you ever heard the story of, every time I tell this story, the fisherman's from somewhere different? Have you ever heard this story? Right. So there's a fisherman that's like sat against a tree, and a businessman walks past him and he says, what are you doing? And the fisherman's like, I've caught my fish for the day. And the businessman's like, well, why don't you get back out, catch some more fish, sell a little bit more, save some money, and buy a boat? And then the fisherman's like, and then what? The businessman's like, right, well, when you got a boat, you save up even more money because you'll be able to catch more fish, you'll be able to keep them, and then you'll be able to come back in, you'll be able to fish for longer, and then you can buy a second boat. And then the guy's like, and then what? And he's like, and then you have guys running the boats for you, and you get another boat, and you get a fleet of fishing boats, and then you get nets instead of fishing rods, and you catch even more fish, and then you make more money. And the guy's like, and then what? And then he's like, and then you can sit back, you don't have to work, and you just get to watch it. And then the fisherman's like, and part of me thinks about that regularly with, like, before I start to try and take on other coaches, before I decided I wanted to have a gym, like, there was a spell where things were just like, it was my goal, I achieved it, the ambition maybe wasn't there to just constantly progress. And I can remember being like, maybe close to stress-free, about 90% less stress than what I have now. I made enough money. My lifestyle just suited the amount of money that I made. But then I got ambitious and I started to grow and grow and grow. And I'm like, well, now I'm unsure where it can go to. Where do I push it to? What am I willing to push it to? And then I'm like, well, surely you have to push it as far as you possibly can until you completely cock it up and then you push on again. And then I keep thinking, like, well, what happens if I just went back to doing like 16 hours of one-to-one a week and then a few online clients, and I just have all the free time in the world to just do whatever I want? And I do think about that quite regularly.
But it's about having the fleet of ships and having changed the life of the fish and the life of those people working on the ship, And
yeah. Part of me, no, completely, like you're saying there, changing life on the people on the ship. Part of me does think about that a lot. Like, I want to try and create opportunities in my town. My town's quite small. Like, a lot of young lads kill themselves. A lot of young lads just do, like, exactly what they think they're supposed to. They, like, finish a certain point of school. They get a trade. They maybe try and make a bit extra cash on the side, either, like, dealing some drugs or, like just trying to do something. They get a girlfriend, they marry their high school sweetheart. Like, it's very like, this is how you're supposed to do it. And I almost want to throw something in there that's like, there is another avenue that you can take. There's a bit more enjoyment you can get out of life at doing what you want to as opposed to what you think you're supposed to do. And I also want there to be like a good opportunity for like a cool job to do in my town. I want to have an impact on like the health of my town. And that feels like it's bigger than me. It's a bit bigger than me. And if I can help, and I know if any of my clients are listening, they'll be like, Tom, you've changed my life. Like, if I can repeatedly do that, or if I can actually change my clients' lives, like, I feel like that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about, like, people say, like, leaving the world in a better place than when you came into it. But I think it's like touching the people that are alive at the same time as you. Like, if you can do something that lets them be more them and feel better doing it, I don't think you can become much better of a human being. And I do think that that's what like keeps driving me and pushing me to be like, right, well, if you can get the gym to the point that someone can then be salaried and making a good living, running your gym or running our gym, and they love doing it, they're living a better life. And then if you can do it once, you can do it again. And if you can do it again, you can do it 10 times. And if you can do it 10 times, that's then 10 people with, and I think we've got 11 or 12 instructors that all love what they do. They all love coaching. They all love instructing. They love classes. They love exercise. That's then 11 people there. And then those 11 people that are doing those classes can have like 20 to, I think maybe 25 is like the busiest class we've got at the minute. 25 people. And they can give those 25 people the best hour of their day. Like they've looked forward to it all day. They've worked. They hate work. They can't wait to get to the community. They can't wait to get into the gym. That then spreads out to that. They then go home and then maybe feel a little bit better. They're a bit politer. They're a bit kinder, a bit more patient with their kids, like whatever. Like, you are like slowly changing the world, as like egocentric as that maybe sounds. Like, but yeah, I do. I think you're right. Like, imagine if you had 15 coaches. Like, everybody automatically just thinks like, oh yeah, you must be doing all right for yourself. You're just greedy bastard. You just want to make loads of money. But imagine having like 15 coaches that all love what they do. They've all got busy rosters. They're all changing people's lives. They're all coming back to you being like, look, I've got this client that's kind of stuck with this thing. How would you deal with it? You maybe don't know the answer, but then you know who to go and ask, and you know how to study for it, or you do know the answer and you give it to them, and then it solves that barrier for them. Like, I just think, yeah, there's an excitement in that, isn't there?
Yeah, and same as your ex-coaches, you know? Like, they go on, they keep doing the job, they keep affecting lives.
Yeah.
That's still you affecting lives, you know?
Yeah.
Even if they don't work for you anymore.
Yeah, I would love to be able to, like, I cocked up with my coaches. Like, I just didn't know enough about leadership, and I didn't know enough about, like, marketing at the time when I had them. And I think if I had both of them again to have a chance, I think I'd be able to definitely do it differently. But they've both gone on to do things. They seem very happy doing what they're both doing.
Luckily, there are many others out there that you can teach in.
The crazy thing for me, David, is those two, right? As soon as I started TS Health and Fitness, they were like my two dream coaches to have. Like, I'd like honestly manifested it. Like, I'd thought about it, and then I had them, and we worked together well. We did. I just didn't quite have the leadership. So that's why now I have heaps of leadership books.
On one hand, I'm sure you are right. On the other, you sound like a high schooler after their first relationship.
Yeah.
If they were the perfect member for the team, they would still be the perfect member of the team.
They would still be here. I do have ambitions to eventually, like similar to you, have a few coaches working underneath me. The beauty is now, because I've got my own gym, I don't have to worry about us getting kicked out anywhere. They've got a hub to just work from. I can funnel people to them. I actually have two PTs that use the gym. They've got their own company. Shout out to Rise and Revive. Katie and Fraser, they're both brilliant people. Incredible human beings. And I'm loving seeing them grow and develop. Like, I love seeing that as well. Like, so there is that. There is a lot to it. There's a bit more to it than just... And I know, like, me and you, we both like business. We both like pursuing things. We're both a little bit materialistic. We both like aftershaves, watches, things like that. Like, we both do like those things. But everybody thinks that that's the only reason we do what we do. Like, it's the money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money.
I disagree. I think for you, or when it comes to you, it's very obvious that the number one thing for you is helping people. Like, that very much comes across in your content and everything.
I'm glad. I'm bloody glad, because that is what I want to do.
And I'm jealous.
You do like helping people. You like helping people.
Of course.
But
not as much as you do.
No, you definitely do. You wouldn't be as successful as you are without it. I swear.
It's really weird, actually. Like, for you, it's the same, like, Labrador energy. Like, you just want to do good in general for humanity and the people. Whereas I want to do good to individuals, you know?
Mm-hmm. But that is how it works. Like, you have to target that single person. You have to look after yourself first. That's like the key thing. Like, can't pour from an empty cup. And as long as you're looking after yourself, and then you start to divvy it out, you give out your knowledge, you share some experience, you try and get people to look at things slightly differently, or you just tell them kind of more where to look and not what to see, but they then start to learn about it. You do that on an individual level, you do that on one-to-one. What then starts to happen is that goes to that person's house. Like, this is what always blows my mind. That then goes back to that person's house, and they talk to their family about it. They then raise their kids like that. Like, that's wild. And I remember once, and I don't know if you've ever thought about this, right? There was one time on Christmas Day I started like crying my eyes out, right? A couple people messaged me on Christmas Day being like, oh my God, my partner's just bought me a voucher to work with you, and I cannot believe how excited I am. And I remember just being like, that's someone's Christmas. Someone's Christmas present was working with me, and they fucking love it. Like, that's, oh. that makes me feel so like wild, to be honest. It just feels, even now saying it, I'm like, fuck, like, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Mm.
We are lucky. We are very, very lucky.
100%. And we're also lucky that everything that we output is in our hands, you know? However much input goes in, you can get similarly much out.
Yeah, yeah. It is a nice feeling, that, isn't it? And I think it should almost be like national service. That everyone should work in a pub or a restaurant, and I think everybody should have to run their own business.
It does matter what kind of business it is, though.
So that's the thing. I think like when someone has to run their own business, they're going to probably run something that they want to run. They wouldn't just, I'll just open up a barber shop. I don't know how to cut hair. I don't care about cutting hair. Because they would quickly realize, like, oh shit, I don't have enough money to pay the bills. You know yourself, like when you said there, when you had no choice, you knew what you wanted to build, you needed to be a PT, you needed to pay your bills, you figured out how to be a PT, you figured out how to get people through the door, you figure it out. You also then, you learn like an unstoppable work ethic. Like, you don't get tired the same. You don't stop working until work's done. Like, and I think that if people were to all get that, and I guess I'm maybe havering nonsense because I'm self-employed, and again, this arrogance that comes across, I don't think that I'm any better than anybody, but I do think you learn a lot from being self-employed.
What about the other one, having to work in a pub or something?
Because everybody's very rude. Not everybody, but a lot of people are very rude when they go into like bars and restaurants. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying "excuse me" to get attention. There's nothing wrong with saying please and thank you to waiters, like waiting staff. There's also nothing wrong as well that, like, if a restaurant maybe gets something wrong for you, you don't need to be rude about it. Like, a restaurant's trying to deal with like 40, 50, 100 people at one time. Like, if they cock one thing up, that doesn't mean it's a shit restaurant. It just means that one thing went wrong. Like, you think about in your business, David, how many things go wrong every day, and you fucking
nothing ever.
And you quickly figure out how to turn it around. I think that's what makes you a good businessman, how quickly you can deal with like trip-ups and mistakes. In a restaurant, sometimes things go wrong and you don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to be snotty. You can just be like, look, I understand. But I'm not happy with this. Could we exchange it or something? And they'll normally be like, yeah, not a problem. So I'm really sorry. But if you are like, the amount of people, like, I've worked in bars and restaurants, and you just see different levels to people, like a different version of them. Like, I've seen people like, oi, give us a pint. And you're like, don't fucking speak to me like that. Like, you're not next either. I'll come to you when it's your turn. Like, yeah, I think bars and restaurants, because we all like to go out to eat, and you learn how to be. Like, you don't learn how to be in a restaurant by going to restaurants. You learn how to be in restaurants working there, because you see what not to be.
Okay. Shall we wrap it?
Yeah. Good chat, David. I enjoyed that.
I don't know how to end it. I forgot my outro. Thanks. Laters. Thanks for coming onto the show.